Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and we got day number 2 of OTAs to talk about. Now, Aaron Rodgers just spoke to the media, and I'm sure you guys heard the news that Aaron Rodgers confirmed that he tweaked his calf in OTAs this morning, and he has a strained calf muscle, and they do not think it's too serious, and it'll probably sideline him for a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, and they think it's a minor strain, and that's really the big news that happened in OTAs that we'll be talking about. There's also some other things I really want to break down outside of Aaron Rodgers. We heard from Sala this morning talk about the Mekhi Becton situation. You know, Zach Wilson stepped in with Aaron Rodgers out of practice today as the quarterback number 1. We have some injury updates from other players outside of Aaron Rodgers, such as Breece Hall, Max Mitchell, Elijah Vera Tucker, and those guys. So we got a lot to break down. This is the first OTAs where media was in attendance, so we get some footage, we got some content, some videos, courtesy of all the beat reporters over there at One Jets Drive that I want to share with you guys, and of course the photos, courtesy of the New York Jets that you guys see right here, and I'm really excited to break it all down. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of Jets content coming your way all throughout the rest of the offseason. We'll be covering OTAs pretty much every day here on Jets Media, so make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy makes a video, and feel free to comment down below your thoughts of your biggest takeaways from today's OTAs. It was obviously a very interesting day to be a Jets fan because of the whole situation with the Aaron Rodgers sitting out, and I'm going to break it down in this video. And if you guys are not already, do your boy a solid favor by simply hitting that thumbs up button if you did not already. All right, let's get straight into business. So first and foremost, the entire world was at One Jets Drive watching the practice today. We had the national media there. The Jets beat reporters were there. Everybody was excited to see Aaron Rodgers throw the football in a Jets uniform for the first time with the media in attendance at OTAs. Well, they were not able to do that because Aaron Rodgers, after, he was going out there and warming up, apparently, according to himself, he was running and he tweaked his calf muscle. Not too much of an issue, in my opinion. I think it's just going to be a minor setback. Obviously, it's something you prefer not to happen. You want to see Aaron Rodgers be completely healthy. You want to see him out there. But he took a veteran day off, and he was still participating in practice from the perspective of a coach. He was in the drills. He wasn't like in the training facility getting worked on. It wasn't that serious. So Aaron Rodgers was still walking around practice, looking at all the drills, helping out the quarterbacks, helping out the coordinators, and all those things. So, and Aaron Rodgers had a lot of awesome things to say in his press conference. And let's start off with that. He really mentioned, and we heard this from CJ Uzomah earlier, and we also heard this from Diana Rossini, who tweeted this out this morning. Here's a tweet from Diana this morning before practice got kicked off, and this is just about Aaron Rodgers and his presence with the New York Jets, how it's already being felt. So as you can see here, Diana said she spoke to multiple Jets players and coaches about the impact of Aaron Rodgers. The standard has been raised. The little details are significant to Aaron Rodgers. Everyone is being held accountable in meetings on and off the field. Rodgers has a lot of say. He's all in. Aaron Rodgers also talked about this in his press conference, and he basically was saying that he loves in meeting rooms, when you're having a meeting with the quarterbacks, a meeting with the entire offense, he likes to have open dialogues, open conversations. He doesn't want just the coach to be speaking throughout the entire meeting. He's someone that likes to speak up and kind of be that, leader of this team, setting a standard and making sure that he's calling out this team if it's not to its capability of excellence and dominance. And that's really what we want to see here. And CJ Uzomah yesterday, or this morning, he said that yesterday during practice, Aaron Rodgers spoke up in the huddle, said, you got to get your shit together. Like, he was like, this isn't unacceptable. He was just kind of holding this offense accountable. And this is exactly what this Jets team needs. Like, newsflash, the offense stunk last year. So we have a lot of players that are not used to having an actual quarterback that's experienced like Aaron Rodgers to be able to put it all together, to be able to hold players accountable. So this is a really great thing to hear, that Aaron Rodgers is a player that can really step up, and not only on the field, but his impact off the field as a leader and holding his team accountable is awesome. He also mentioned, Aaron Rodgers, that he wants to, set a standard where you finish every single rep on the practice field. We got to establish a standard that you practice at 110%, because that translates to the field, and you really want to make sure that the young guys are translating to this knowledge and all the other things. So Aaron Rodgers' impact on this Jets offense and the entire team has been nothing short of positive so far, and it's a really great thing to hear. Aaron Rodgers also talked about how much he loves Nathaniel Hackett, how fun he is, how he has great energy. You see these photos right here of Nathaniel Hackett at practice. I mean, you see him just so I mean, these aren't videos, but you see just his face is so happy. He's engaged. He's pumping up his teammates. And it's cool to see our new offensive coordinator have this much energy. And you can tell why Aaron Rodgers really loves Nathaniel Hackett. And it's cool that we have Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett to really help the installment of this offense for the brand new players that are learning this offense, like Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis, all the new receivers, all the new offensive linemen, tight ends, and running backs that are learning this brand new offense. And then also when Rodgers was asked about Robert Sala, he said that he loves that Robert Sala gives his players the freedom of expression, meaning that the coaching staff here, especially Robert Sala, it doesn't like force the Jets to be like robots, right? They like to be free, like to express their personality, but still at the same time holding them accountable. And I thought that was interesting to hear Aaron Rodgers give his thoughts on how Robert Sala approaches himself as a head coach, and he really appreciates Robert Sala as a head coach. So that's really my thoughts of the Aaron Rodgers press conference. Now let's transition into what we heard from Robert Sala this morning before OTAs. So he was asked about the Mekhi Becton situation, and Robert Sala basically did not mention anything in a negative light. He said in the past, we're not going to talk about that, but the one thing I will mention that he's excited about is the 6 months that Mekhi Becton has been rehabbing. He thinks Mekhi Becton's in tremendous shape, and he's excited to see what Mekhi Becton does in training camp. Now, Mekhi Becton was not at practice today. Well, he was there working on the sidelines. He was not participating in practice yet, so he's still rehabbing that right knee, and Mekhi Becton is not guaranteed to win that left tackle spot because Robert Sala was asked that, and he said it's an open competition, and there's 2 offensive tackle spots, and the 5 best players will be out there. So it's going to be very interesting to see who wins the offensive tackle spot at left tackle and right tackle. Robert Sala was also asked about Quinnen Williams, and he said, first of all, he's like, oh, well, Quinnen Williams is not here because he's expecting a newborn, and he's really excited for Quinnen Williams. And then he went on to say, quote, I am not worried at all. That will get done, and he will be here, talking about Quinnen Williams' contract extension. So Robert Sala seems to be very confident that Quinnen Williams is going to get extended, and he's going to be here by training camp. So if Robert Sala is confident, I'm confident, and I'm not hitting the panic button at all. Now, let's get into what happened today on the field at OTAs outside of Aaron Rodgers. You know, Allen Lazard was another player that went down, and then the media is just like, oh, Allen Lazard's down. And we have all the national reporters tweeting to the world that Allen Lazard's hurt. And then you see a couple minutes later, no, Allen Lazard's fine. He's back on 7-7. Maybe it was a tweak. Maybe he just got a little banged up. And that's the reality of practice. When you have media there, they're going to really over-dramatize everything. So, you know, just take a chill pill. Some people on media, and I'm talking to the national media because they're trying to rile up the Jets fans. And this is becoming Jets for clicks, folks. We are a national story, and there's going to be a lot of things written about this team. So, luckily, Allen Lazard's fine. He returned to practice. Nothing really to be concerned about. But other injury news that I thought was really awesome to see. This is a clip of Elijah Vera Tucker and Max Mitchell out there at OTAs. This is such a good sign. Elijah Vera Tucker, he went down last year with the season-ending pec injury, and Max Mitchell had blood clots. So the fact that they're both ready to go for day 2 of OTAs and practicing yesterday as well is a great sign for the depth of this offensive line, because we need as many guys as possible healthy at that offensive line position, obviously. And then another player that we saw running around was not participating in practice, but he was on the side working with himself, Breece Hall. I mean, look at him running around. Really great to see him moving this well. And I just feel like, you know, Breece Hall, the comeback story is going to be really fun to see. And it's really awesome to be able to see with our own eyes Breece Hall on the practice field, running around, not limping, not struggling, but jogging. And he actually picks it up a little bit at the end and kind of runs fast. So it's good to see Breece Hall doing his thing. 2 players that did not practice today that I don't know why. I don't know if it's injury related or what the issue is with that, but we do not know. Maybe we'll have to wait to hear from Robert Sala again. But Sauce Gardner and Michael Clemens were not participating in practice today. Again, I don't know the reason for that, but I definitely want to let you guys know. And then the players that played well today at OTAs. You guessed it, Zach Wilson. I'm sure some people are like, oh, who cares? Well, I care personally. I think it's a cool thing that Zach Wilson, when Aaron Rodgers goes down, he steps up as the number 1 quarterback in OTAs on 7-on-7 drills and pretty much dominated. I mean, according to Connor Hughes, Zach Wilson had a great day. He was precise. He was hitting up Jeremy Ruckert, who was flashing in practice as well, which is a great sign to see the year 2 tight end really step up and really look like a good player. Hopefully he could break out for the New York Jets at that tight end spot. But the fact that Zach Wilson was able to, you know, and it's just OTAs. I mean, we're talking about 7-on-7. 7. He still has to prove himself against pass rush. He's quarterback number 2, but it is cool to hear some positive stuff about Zach Wilson's progression. We heard Robert Sala speak about Zach Wilson this morning, that he thinks he's going to benefit and he's becoming a sponge, and learning behind Aaron Rodgers is really going to benefit Zach Wilson. And hey, again, it's OTA. Zach Wilson needs to learn how to handle a pass rush. He needs to learn how to be able to read defenses. He needs to learn how to go through his progressions. But the fact that he stepped in there and we're seeing some positive things talk about Zach Wilson, I definitely wanted to bring that up. You know, you see this clip right here of Zach Wilson hitting up Garrett Wilson, the Wilson to Wilson connection. So that's awesome to see. Always fun to see some content of what's going on at OTAs. And yeah, man, that's really it for OTAs. Nothing really else to talk about besides the Aaron Rodgers calf strain, Robert Sala speaking to the media, A-Rod speaking to the media, some injury stuff. So stay tuned for more Jets content, guys. I got a lot of more stuff coming your way. Smash that thumbs up button if you guys are not already. Really helps out the channel a ton. I love breaking down OTAs. It's one of my favorite things to do on the channel at this time of the year. So I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Jets. Peace.